When health meets technology and AI is thrown into the mix, a lot of interesting things can happen. Today we have with us Dr. Ajit and Mr. Shailendra from Athlex Fitness Testing, giving us some great details about their startup, which has made it to the Arbiter Awards. Ajit and Shailendra, welcome to Republic Business Emerging Technology Awards.
Thank you.
There is a lot of rave reviews about your app. If you can tell us a little bit about what exactly you're doing with the Athlex app.
So basically this is the first app in the world which assesses your fitness levels without any wearables. You just need a smartphone. So the beauty of this particular app is that it can be used by anybody who's 9 years and above able-bodied individual on this planet, where you most of the times everybody does health checkups but nobody tests their fitness. Now is the time that you can actually use an app in the comfort of your home or wherever you are and test your fitness levels.
Do you think that Indians over the last decade or so have become more conscious about their health, and the pandemic has a role to play in that?
Definitely, yes. We realize that post-COVID, there has been a definite increase in awareness and a need in the minds of people to work on their fitness, and that is acting as a good catalyst for us.
Just to add one more, last week there was a big article that came in the Lancet journal, medical journal, which suggested that 1 in 2 Indians are unfit. So that's kind of very alarming, and that exactly where we want to kind of drive the focus to, of testing the fitness levels and then improving on them. Because COVID obviously is given them, as Shailendra rightly said, but it is all about how you take care of your health parameters. Along with that, you need to do your fitness parameters as well.
So now that you must have done your sampling of cases, what are the key health deficiencies or lacks that urban Indians are facing?
I think Ajit can answer that.
So what happens is, if you do your blood tests on a regular basis, it can give you an idea about your health parameters. But when it comes to fitness parameters, we don't have any gauge or any kind of a parameter that people use today. There are athletes who use it because their coaches and trainers do that. But for a normal individual who is, be it from a housewife to a student to a corporate or to a manufacturer or anybody for that matter, you need to know how fit you are. So that is where the underlying modalities that you need to have in your routine to check your fitness levels regularly and improve upon it.
What you're saying is, even if your blood tests are right, if your vitamins levels are right, it does not mean that you are fit.
Exactly.
So what defines fitness?
So there are various parameters in addition to what you mentioned. Things like your strength, flexibility, your ability to push, pull things, to move. All of these things constitute fitness. Now, to do these things, there are certain set of muscles that are deployed. The strength, endurance of these muscles is equally important, and that's what we focus on. So, answering your earlier question, in terms of the samples that we have, we do find that a lot of individuals fall in the range of below average. So, there are grades that are defined globally in medical science journals, starting from poor to excellent. And a lot of people are falling in below average primarily because they don't know. So we are basically basing our company on the simple principle that we learned in our childhood, which is you can improve what you can measure. So the first step to improvement is measure and then improve. So that's what we are focusing on. And we are trying to make it so easy that you don't need to go to a specialized clinic or experts. You can do it in the comfort of your home on your own.
But traditionally Indians have been hardworking physically. But do you think that the kind of lifestyle urban Indians are living are leading to making more and more people unfit?
Yeah, it's not about only unfit. So it is about what sort of a work profile you have. It could be a long sitting job. It could be an athlete. It could be a housewife. So they need to do certain activities in their daily life itself. Standing for a while, or putting things up in the cupboard. or pushing something which is, so these things also need some sort of a strength and endurance. So how do you know that whether you're good at it? Simple thing which I always tell is, just by wearing trousers when you're standing without support is such a challenge to somebody, because they don't work on their balance. They need to take support. So these things are not only pertaining to the athletes or sports per se, or gym goers or fitness freaks. This is for every other individual who wants to get themselves a little better than where they are.
So just as you're saying that you don't really have to wear a smart gadget or smartphone, or you don't have to go to anywhere. You can just, with the help of a smartphone, you can measure your fitness. But people also have an idea that if you really want to become fit, you have to go to a dietitian, you've got to go to a gym, you've got to take up this. Or is it just possible that every day, if you can do a couple of things, you can remain fit? When what are those? I would like to know.
Basically, there are two things. One is something which are basic parameters. Those basic parameters will kind of test your upper body, core, lower body balance. There are advanced parameters that we check, which will kind of cover more specialized tests for fitter people. So it is right from an unfit or rather recreational individuals to somebody who is professionally playing at the highest level. So we test all these muscles and joints in terms of their ability to do certain activities to a level which is certified and kind of put in the normative data tables across the sports science journals and sports medicine.
So what we are saying here is, you go to a gym, you exercise, that's going to help. But even before starting that, know where you are. I know a lot of friends, and including myself. So we started gym, and in 2 weeks time we had a sore back, we had sore muscles, we couldn't move our hands because we had no idea of where we were, and the trainer just pushed us, and we got into a situation that was worse than we were in.
Exactly.
We actually handled them. There is a roadmap given whereby there is an exercise library that is automatically generated using machine learning algorithms based on the individual's level, and those exercises will guide you to move to the next level. So not leaving the customer at the just by telling him what's wrong with him or her, taking him to the next stage.
Before I conclude, I'd like to ask you that how is mental fitness and physical fitness connected?
Yeah, it is definitely connected to a great extent, especially for athletes. So what happens is, even if you start working on your own self, athletes obviously has more advantage if they are mentally strong. But even for individuals who are kind of physically not that fit, they are mentally weaker as well.
Okay.
So what does science say? That the fitter the body, the better is your performance, irrespective of whatever you do. So it could be
healthy mind in a healthy body.
Exactly.
And that gives you actually in totality a good sum of good physical life ahead. And especially with a lot of illnesses and chronic illnesses and sedentary lifestyles and stuff, this becomes paramount importance to how to
So
take
do you
this
think
ahead.
Indians are becoming more and more health conscious, or is there a gap, or what is
No,
it?
they are becoming to a great extent, especially post-COVID, as Shailendra said. It is very important for us to understand that health is wealth again. Going back to those age-old sayings which our grandparents used to say, we've again come back to those, and I think it is actually a way forward.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was a
Thank you.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.